Hi all, welcome back to Shank's channel. And today I'm going to cover the most important aspect of AWS cloud. It's not for even AWS cloud, but for other cloud vendors. I would say, like, if you don't have internet connectivity at your home, you will not be able to do anything. So if you're watching this video, you must have the internet available on your phone, either through mobile data or like router, Wi-Fi. So without internet at your home, you cannot do much. You cannot go and do some research. You cannot perform few, uh, you know, um, operations on phone or on laptop or your personal desktop. Likewise, we have one most important service called VPC, which is isolated network on cloud. So, like the kind of motto I have already made it clear in the beginning that my channel would only cover troubleshooting and demo parts instead of focusing on some kind of theoretical stuff or lectures. So if you are stuck with some understanding of what it is and what kind of definitions you would like to go through, you can simply go to official article of Amazon. This will have you will have the better clarity on what these are like. Okay, so like I said, VPC is the major used service, I would say, because without VPC, many of the AWS services are of no use if you uh, ask me frankly. So like, for an example, we have EC2 as one of the services in AWS. So EC2 has to have, provision in some kind of, it should have the network connectivity you know, for you to work with servers or log into the machine and do further stuff. So how you can set this up, and I'll first, I will not go ahead and launch EC2 and do some VPC configuration from there. I'll jump onto VPC directly. I'll first set up VPC and then we'll provision EC2 instance that should be residing in VPC that we will create. Okay, so let's create one VPC. I'll will not do major configuration because you will get confused. I'll cover most of the things in deep dive sessions, which I'll be creating in near future. But this will have another uh, interesting stuff. So do not get demotivated that you're not getting anything here. You'll be getting a very interesting part here. I'll show you what that is. Okay, so I'll say demo VPC. I'll give it like this side annotation you should be aware of. Now you can like study about it. 10.0.0, I'll say this and I'll create one VPC. My VPC is created, demo VPC. Now what I'll do to have EC2 associated with this VPC, we should also have the subnet in place. So under demo VPC, I'll create one subnet. We can have multiple subnets in here, and that has limit. So make sure you you study about it, how many subnets we can have in one VPC, because that is the most asked question in most of the interviews, right? So how many VPCs we have in one region, you can Google it. How many subnets we can have in one VPC, you can Google it. So there theoretical stuff that you should study about before you do this. That doesn't have a dependency necessarily, but it's worth if you know prior doing this, testing this stuff in your personal account. So I'll say demo subnet. Availability zone, I'll keep it like US East 1. You can we'll do the cider range within that. Let's see, 28. Okay. Okay. I'll keep everything as is. I'll create subnet. So far my VPC is created, my subnet is created. Now I'm going to create a route table, right? I should create something else first before I create route table to make EC2 working, but this is a catch. I would like to show you how actually it works. So I'll first create route table. I'll say demo route table RT. Keep it in the same VPC that I created. I'll say create route table, right? So my VPC is created, my subnet is created, the route table is created. This is uh, like most again one of the most asked questions in the interviews. If you are preparing for some cloud roles and responsibilities you're looking for, you should look for it and you should concentrate here. So now I'll go back to EC2. I'll launch one instance, focus on what I'm going to do here, else you will miss something important that I'm going to cover now. I'll keep these things as is. I'll create new key pair. I'll say demo key and I'll choose ppk, so to avoid um, time that it would take to convert the PAM file to ppk, so I directly downloaded ppk file. Now here's the network settings. I'll choose the one I created, not the default one, and under that we have demo subnet. I'll choose this one. For now, I don't want any elastic IP to be assigned, so I'll say enable so that we can have one IP assigned when instance is up. I'll say demo SG, right? Demo SG. We'll keep everything as is. Rules should be 22 because we are provisioning Linux EC2, so it works on the SSH and on TCP protocol. So the port is 22. For Windows, it's 3389. You should be aware of some ports, basic ones. I'll say launch instance. I have kept few things by as is. Now, let me. Okay, what I'll do, I'll simply. You don't have to do it. I'm just doing it for uh, my sake. So once instance is up, it will come here. I just set it like it should have the list of instances that are running. Okay, so no matches in the matching instances are found. There is one running instance, but it's still status check initializing. Let's wait for it to become 2 by 2. So I'll pause the video for a second. I'll be back as soon as it is up. All right, I'm back. So status check says 2 by 2. And I'd like to quickly recap what we did before I paused the video. We created one VPC, we created one subnet, we created one route table, and we created EC2 instance, and we got the IP now. What we are going to do, we are going to log into the instance. So the default user, I covered in the previous sessions, it is EC2-user for Amazon Linux 2 operating system. If you have choose the OS as like Ubuntu, so the username should be Ubuntu. And now I'm going to use this key. I'll say open, and this will give you an error. Let's see. And here it is. So network error, connection refused. So there is something that we are missing from network point of view. So what we have missed so far, what we have covered so far is to have VPC attached to the EC2 instance, or um, subnets are there. route table I have already created. So what else is left? So there is most important feature that we have in virtual private cloud, that is internet gateway. So it is nothing but you know uh, just to uh, providing the internet facility, like you have public resources in your AWS uh, VPC, and that would have like internet connectivity through this. So if you are working in enterprise environment, you'll have to have NAT gateway as well along with the internet gateway, and that should be in the public subnet, but that would facilitate the connection of your private resources in your VPC to access the internet. So let's first focus on how it is going to be for our use case. So I'll create one internet gateway. I'll say demo inet, or I would say I gateway internet gateway. Okay, let's say create. Now I'll go back to route table because it has to be assigned here in the route table, because it your EC2 should know how it the traffic has to be. So I'll define the route, edit routes. There is one local, but this route doesn't have anything mentioned that EC2 should pick up. Where should it go in terms of having the connectivity? So add route I'll do. I'll say 0 or 0, like the internet, and I'll choose this. What did we miss? We did not attach the internet gateway to the VPC. We created one internet gateway, but we missed to attach it. So we'll go back again to VPC. Internet gateway was first. We'll attach it. Attach to VPC. Demo VPC. Attach. And now we'll go back to route table. Do the same steps. Edit routes. Add route 0 or 0 Now if I choose internet gateway, it will give me the one we created. Now I'll save the changes. So along with this, we'll have to focus on another configuration, that is subnet association. So we'll go ahead and do edit subnet association. We'll check this out. We'll associate it explicitly, and we'll save the associations. So now you have route tables, and the path is defined, that internet is there for the destination as internet 0 0 The gateway is there, and since this internet gateway is attached to the VPC where your EC2 resides, so let's do this again. I'm going to do new session. I'll close this one and copy the IP again. EC2 hyphen user demo key. I'll say open. It prompt me something, means something is good. All right, we are into the machine now. So that's the most important interview question as well, I would say, and most important topic if you're working as a cloud engineer, or if you're working in the cloud profile, respective of what role you are on. If you're setting up VPC, if you are provisioning resources under those VPC, so that should have the connectivity to the internet. So for that, you should have the internet gateway attached to the VPC. And if you're working in the uh, private environment, like enterprise level, so you won't have the public IP there. So elastic IP would be assigned by default. If you create net gateway, I can show you the interface, and let me show you. If I create net gateway, so this is like beyond what we have already covered, and we are not going to use this, but I'll show you how this looks like. So you will do some like thing like this, whatever your uh, net gateway, whatever your you would like to name it from naming convention perspective. So the subnet is same. You'll choose connectivity public. It would assign the elastic IP. If you click allocate elastic IP, then you will create one another route table and do the step that we did for internet gateway. So that would have the connectivity of the private resources in the VPC to the internet. So this is how actually, or if you have observed, this is right here. It is written clearly that this service, that instances, private subnets can use to connect to these services in other VPCs on-prem networks or the internet. So that's the um, most important aspect of net gateway as well. So this is how it works from VPC point of view. Like I said, without internet, you cannot do anything. So I'll come up with most interesting topics again. Thank you so much for watching.